Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel. Today is day 76 of the 100-day project, and today I am going to make specimen slides. I think I am somewhat organized. Let me put the alcohol bottle away so I don't use that. I tried that yesterday on my spray inks and I got different effect than what I was hoping for. For specimen slides, we are not going to be bright and vibrant. I have distress ink, I have vintage photo, and I have walnut stain. And I'm just putting them aside for now. I have some eyelets, and I'm just going to I have some eyelets and brads. I have some page tabs that are die cuts that I have, and I've cut them out already. I have some little itty bitty snippets from Tim Holtz that I I stamped onto coffee dyed paper. I have a whole pile of labels and embellishment pieces by the Junk Journal Studio and by Margaret from Seven Plaza. So the Seven Plaza kit is called Field Notes, and the kit from the Junk Journal Studio is the Botanical kit, and I believe I'm using the original and the pinks. What else am I using? I have some acetate right here, and then I have some chameleon markers. I'm mostly using them to color into the acetate a little bit to give it some depth. I don't want to completely cover over them. I have a eyelet setter. I have a square hole punch, so it cuts squares instead of circles. I have a glue stick. I have a little knife in case I need it. I have my yeah, I can say it every time, and then when I need to say it, I no longer know what it's called. Stylus. I have my stylus. I have a scoreboard. I have a page, or yeah, a paper cutter. I have a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock that I coffee dyed. So I'll have to see which side I like the best. And I have my grungy stamp. But then in the auction that I won the other day, where I got all the buttons and all the, I got a whole lot of vintage wooden thread spools with thread on them still. There was also this Eaton's catalog from 1976. And when I was leafing through it, and it is really 70s. Let me show you. Look at the moo-moos. Look at that. I have pictures of myself in dresses like that. So, yeah. But while I was leafing through it, look what I found. And there is 3 of these. 3 really old dyed flowers. And I am going to keep them in here until it is time to use them. But look how beautiful they are. I have no idea what they are. If someone recognizes them, can you please let me know what it is? But I am I think I am very lucky that I found them. So I am going to make specimen slides to fit these 3 beautiful flowers into. So I can actually go 2.5, 2 3/4, and 3 inches in order to get, okay, I had to quickly do a little bit of math to figure out how big I would have to cut my paper. So I have a, and to start with, I need to cut 1 inch off the bottom here. Just to make sure that there will be more being cut off, but I'm going to start with this piece. Then I need to cut, they're all going to be different sizes, are they? Yes. So they're going to be 3.5, 3 3/4, and 4 inches. Okay, then one is going to be 11 inches, so that would be this one. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 10 11 inches. Why is that not 11 inches? Well, maybe it wasn't a full 12 by 12. That sucks. So I'm going to go 1/4 of an inch less. So this one is going to be 9 3/4. And I'm sorry you won't be able to see this for a second. Nine 3/4, and this one is going to be 8 3/4. Okay. Now I need to use, or I want to use, this on here. Will have a difference. Yes, I do. Let me take the measurement here. So this is 2.5, so that is perfect. So I can cut this one with the red. First, I'm going to fold them. I'm going to score them all in the center. So this one is, I can score them, but this one was 8 3/4. So that would be 4 3/8. 1 2 3. Yeah. Why is this wrong now? This should have been 8 inches, or 8 3/4. 8. No. This is 8 3/4. So we're going at 4 3/8. Oops. That's 1. And this one is, we're going to add an inch to it. So it'll be 5 3/4. Or 3/8, sorry. Is it? No. This is 9 3/4, so that's 4 1/2. I apologize. That's a lot of math right now. So it looks like it's going to go right under there. Yep. And this one is 10 3/4, so this will be 5 right there. Perfect. That's 1. So this idea is not 100% my own. I watched Toni from Crafty by Toni do this. This one is also not correct. Very annoying. It's off by like a hair. Okay, I'm just going to fold it just like this. And I'll just use this as the bottom. There we go. So Toni from Crafty by Toni did these, and I really like them. I just haven't made them yet. So these are going to be completely different because I am working with a different medium. She worked with butterflies. I am working with dried flowers, so it's a little different. And I am going to do it in a double. I'm going to put it in between the acetate. She had it on top of the acetate, but these flowers are so fragile. I don't want to have them go bad. So yeah, it's just the building of the slides that is inspired by Toni. Okay, so then this one, we need to go just a little smaller, so I'm going to use the biggest one. If I use the biggest one, where am I going to end up? So I need to get to 3 3/4 inch. Where's my ruler? Oh, this is 3. So I can actually go with the one size up. There we go. That's 2. And this one, I know I can go with the red one because I know this is 4 inches. Well, it's just shy of 4 inches. Well, this is what it's going to be though. I think I am still going to go with the green one. No, I am. I'm going to go with the green one. I can always still use the red one if it is not big enough. Before I do anything, I need to make sure that I am big enough for that flower. And that was the largest one. Yes, perfect. All right, so I have 3 different sizes, like even though this one is the same size hole or circle as that one, but I did manage to get them centered somewhat, and I have some extra space, so let's just carry on. I can put these away. Let's just try and get this a little organized while I am going, even though I am in a little bit of a rush. But it is easier to clean it up now and keep the space on my desk. There we go. I also don't need that anymore. Okay, these can go to the side. Pencil can go. Let's cut some acetate. So I'm just going to make a mark with my little, that's a little pen knife right there. Right here will be 1, and I can probably get a second one out of here as well. Yeah, for sure, especially if I go this way. And I need two. You need two of everything. It's okay. It is easy for me to see, probably not as easy for you, but that's okay. So I want to thank everyone in the junk journals in the junk journals Junkies Canada group for giving me ideas. I was really stuck last week, and you guys helped me out by coming up with some ideas for a next project. It is not easy to come up with something new every day for 100 days. It just isn't. You know, we all have our repertoire of what we like to do and like to use, and so you're going to very quickly be repeating what you're doing. And I was noticing that I was at that point. So I asked, and I got some wonderful answers, and some answers that I was like, okay, well, I don't think you understand what I'm needing it for. You know, because I don't want to build something. Like, I will use labels and stuff like that, but I don't want to use someone else's complete kit in my videos. That is not how I am seeing that this needs to be done, even though I love doing that. Whoops. Okay, so that's perfect. Let's carry on and grab the flowers. I'm going to start with the littlest one. It's got to go right in between. And then I'll take my 3-in-1 glue, and I need to glue this shut. And that's why I have lots of overlap, because I don't want to see any glue come through on the slide. Okay. Did I succeed? Yes, but I'll have to cut a little bit off at the top, which is not a big deal. Let's do the same for the middle size. So I think I'm going to do it a little different. I think I'm going to, because I need to know that I am getting the flower centered. So I'm going to put some glue on the edges here. this up and put it, just glue it into there. There. And I'll do the same for the other side. It's really hard to see where the edges are. Everything is shimmery and shiny right now. There. So then, now see my problem? Do you see what I forgot to do? I forgot to ink around the insides. So let me do that first with the other two so I don't forget about it. And I'll use vintage photo. I'll do it with this one. Every time. I know I'm not going to make it again. I will need an extra 10 minutes. So I am already going to say that this is not going to work. However, I do like the project, so I am not going to stop. I'm going to put this in here and see if I can. This one is too big. Let me grab a little finger thingy. Oh, that's better. So this one, oh yeah, I needed to cut that one down a little bit. So let's get this one in here. It's been a stormy weekend. Not the most beautiful of weekends. Which is always too bad, you know. It's one thing in the winter, it's a whole different thing in the summer. And my kids were camping and they got a lot of rain and acorns. We were sitting by the fire and all you could hear was the acorns falling around us, which is, I don't think I've ever had that happen anywhere. And then when they were leaving, the kids took big bags full of acorns with them so that they could plant oak trees. Okay, so this is the biggest one, this is the little middle one, and then that one. So I need to cut a little strip off the top one, and I may just use my scissors. It should line up now. It still needs a little bit more. There we go, that's beautiful. Perfect. So I'm going to glue around the edges again, just on one side. Stick it so that the flower is as centered as I can get it. Oh, by chance, I even got it the right way around. Okay. So the pressure is off now that I know that I'm not going to make it anyway. So I'm just going to take my time and make sure that I am not wrecking the flowers at all. I don't know if there's any more in here. I'm just going to take both of them out now. There. Whoops. So this one is going to go in here. And this is the front. So I'm going to carefully lay it in there, and that one fits perfectly. It could have probably cut the hole a little smaller, but that's okay. I am going to glue around the edges of the slide again, just a little bit, just to so that it'll seal together. And I'm going to go all the way to the edges. I want it to be really, really well sealed. Close this up, make sure everything lines up nicely. Look how wonderful. Oh, I am so happy with that. It is like looking really cool. Oh, this one's not sealed yet. I didn't glue it together yet. That's okay. And then we'll take the biggest one. This is the back. Put it in there. Put glue all the way around the edges. want to make sure that it is very nicely sealed together. So if you want, you can stick with me for another 10 minutes and I'll get them decorated. And otherwise, thanks for watching. I do appreciate that. Please remember to subscribe or like. One of the two is appreciated. Both is absolutely amazing, of course. I have many, many more projects that I would like to make with you guys. I'm just trying to keep it to littler projects for right now. Okay, so just so that we are all on the same page, this littler one was way more difficult to put together because I glued it together first instead of putting the acetate in first and then the flour. So this was definitely the more difficult one, but I do like all three of them a lot. Whoa. Let's wipe up the glue. I can now switch to regular glue. Okay. Let's put this away there. Okay, so now I have my pile of labels and decorations that I would like to use on here. I also have some stamps that I can use in some of the littler labels. Here. Take that out. And probably this one as well. Okay, so I have some stamps. I want to start though with grunging this up just a little bit more with my grungy stamp. It just looks really cool when you do that. Let's go this way. There, that makes a huge difference already in how it looks. Next we're going to ink around. Next I am going to cut the slide holes. So I want to find the center, and it's right there. I put my pencil away. Where is it now? There it is. So I'm going to make a mark right there and right there. And I'll do the same at the top and at the other ones. It always gets more quiet when you start measuring and you're starting to be more concentrated. And I apologize for that. But if I want to do it right, I have to concentrate, and it is very difficult to to do and speak at the same time, for me at least. Okay. Oh, I can't see what I'm doing. Can I open this? Do you think I can take this off? Yes. Perfect. I want to see where I am putting my hole punch. Haha. That is so cute. That's so pretty. And then I can ink around it. Oh, I hear I have to cut through the plastic as well, so that's not going as smooth. Okay. Let's ink around. Oh, the amounts of slides that I have touched in when I was a child. My dad made slides, and we would watch like have like an evening where we would watch all the slides from a vacation or from something else or whatever he had prepared at the time. But then usually they would fall, and you would have to put them back in the right order and in the, yeah, that was always so much fun. So the making of slides just never really occurred to me, like, and these are so much bigger than the slides that we would use to watch pictures on. But most of the slides that he had were of flowers. So yeah, this is not unusual, except that these are real flowers, and those were real flowers too, but they were pictures of real flowers. I keep looking in all the craft stores, not the craft stores. I'm calling the thrift stores the craft stores now. I'm looking at all the thrift stores to see if I can find slides. That would be the ultimate find. to be able to create some slides with real ones. There, aren't they lovely? I love the colors too. So that is, and I knew that they were pinkish purple. So that's why I grabbed the pink specimen, or yeah, the pink botanical card kit as well. So I have that. I'm just going to lay this all out now. This I want to use in a different way. I have a couple of those. That one. And then I have one of these. I think I may want to put that underneath. And here's another one of these bigger ones. Can go right there. With, let's take some writing. There. And what else do I have here? I do want to make all three of them different, right? So it would be way too easy to create the same thing over and over. One of these. Okay, let's get the bottom done. I am going to start with the littlest one. So I know I want this right here at the top. Right there. Come on. Glue. Okay, so my glue is still super runny. But that's okay. I'll just use my finger a little bit. Then I want this one to go right here in the center. And I want it like that because it has a piece of boo-boo tape on there. There. I'm not going to use a ton of glue. I'm just using a little bit. Okay, this can go probably right there. And what I'm doing is I'm just folding the paper over a little bit to give the illusion of folds in the paper. Glue. I will be tagging Toni for Crafty by Toni in this video. I hope, Toni, that you're watching this. You're making beautiful work, and it is a pleasure to watch it and get inspired by what you are making. I had to completely adjust this project, of course, because of the size of the flowers, but I couldn't leave them in the Eaton's catalog. Oh, whoops. Forgot to ink around this one. And I'm making sure that nothing is lined up, which is not the easiest thing to do, but I am getting it done. Ink around it first. Whoopsies. Just slipped right out of my fingers. Come on. There. And then I want to put the specimens right here. Where do I want to put it? No, I want to put it right there. Okay. Oh, how lovely. Okay, so what I have is I have these. They're little tags. And I just need to cut just the itty bittiest piece out of that. And that is, of course, way too big. I may just ink around this one and just pretend that I did that. It's that small. And I'm going to fold it in half. There. And which side do I want to have showing? I think this one. So I want to just put it around here. Okay. And then I want to give it a number. No, I have a number here. Oh, I have like 4 of these. Volume 2. I know I have a volume 1 and a volume 3 as well. There's so little I print these off 2 a page. So yes, they are, some of these labels are just super small. Okay, I will find it. I will put volume 2 on, or found volume 1. There. And then I want to put a number on here. I have a couple of different numbers. Where did my ink block go? Right there. There, and then I have my little tabs. I have a bunch of different ones. That will not fit, but I can make it work. What do I want to use? I want the ground espresso, archival ink. Fold this in half. And then I can put some glue in there, and I have some a little bit of cheesecloth is what we call this stuff, cheesecloth. I'm just messing it up a little bit with the distress ink so that it's not so white. And cut a little piece off. Right there. Put it around like that a little bit, and then use some 3-in-1 to get it to stick. Come on. Oh, I think I really like this, and I think it is most definitely worth all the extra time. How am I at an hour already? Did I really need that much more time? Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so that's one done. Let's carry on. Well, I'm going to complete the other ones because, you know, 3 hours or an hour is way too long for a video. I will post pictures of the completed ones at the end. I will be stamping on it a little bit still with some of my other stamps. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments what you think, and if you have any ideas for projects, please let me know. I am very open to suggestions. I would love to make some easy things, and I love a challenge, as you can tell. Thank you so much for watching, and have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye!